Orlando watch. Not a better place to start than with the defensive line, the defensive front, a group that I'm going to be keeping an eye on throughout spring and fall camp. I'm pretty curious about what's going on here in a good way. Landon Jackson, who decides to come back despite having a really solid season. Anton Juncaj. Whatever. I'm just going to call him Anton. The kid from Albany, who was an absolute monster. Very, very fascinated with him. And Landon coming back is a really big deal. And listen, ESPN seems to think so as well. Chris Lowe put out their way too early All-American list, and he makes the cut. This is from Chris Lowe at ESPN. He's second team All-American. That's pretty neat. Okay. I didn't think, after Arkansas winning just 4 games, 1 conference game in 2023, I didn't think anybody would get any love. And it'd be hard to blame anyone for not giving anybody at Arkansas any love. And yet, there he is. Now, if you remember last year, Mel Kiper, after the Alabama game where Landon Jackson has 4 sacks, 10 PFF stops, absolute monster game, 7 tackles, grades out really high on PFF's scoring system on their grading charts. Great game. Later on in the year against FIU, he has 2 sacks. And he ends up on the year with 32 stops, 7 sacks, and I think ESPN says something like 45 tackles or whatever. But he played 450 snaps on the year. Really solid year. Again, I thought he was going to try out the big leagues. Thought he was going to go to the NFL. Instead, he says, "I'm coming back. I'm going to be a Razorback in 2024." And again, that's just such a big deal for Arkansas. You were really curious, just what are we going to do at the defensive line spot? You're worried about the portal. You've got guys in the portal. Who was going to try and declare for the draft? There's a lot of things going on there. And for Landon to announce he's coming back, really cool. And then on the other side, who's probably going to line up opposite of Landon Jackson is Anton Juncaj.
Anton Juncaj.
This is a guy, depending on what site you read, he's given credit for somewhere between 12 and 14 sacks, a whole bunch of TFLs, and 5 forced fumbles in 2023 alone. Anton is the number 1 player graded out on their defensive on PFF at 91.1. They had another edge rush guy that graded out at 90.9. But if you watch Anton's highlight videos, he is a one-man wrecking crew. It's insane. He's fast off the line of scrimmage, and he just bullies people in front of him. He'll either go right through them or push them into the play. He is really fun to watch. He got a whole bunch of sacks and 5 forced fumbles and a 91.1 PFF grade. PFF are not the only bunch that believe that he's a high-value transfer or commit for Arkansas. He was given I think it was a 4th star on 247 as a transfer rank. So plenty of people feel like this is a really big get for Arkansas. Again, grades out insanely high. You're going to have these two up front on the defensive line. I'm very fascinated to see how this plays out. And I cannot wait for spring and fall camp. But we got to take it one step at a time. Spring is next. So, yeah, I'm very, very fascinated to see, and not just the edge rush guys, and not just these 2. There's other guys on that roster that I'm curious to see back and just kind of how they look as a group, moving forward throughout 2024. But Anton and Landon. It's good to have Landon back, and I think Anton's going to be a wonderful addition to this Razorback defense in 2024.
Anton Juncaj.
Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, share, and if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Do those 3 things for me if you would. Oh, and by the way, this isn't possible without these fine people over here. Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. They operate out of Central Arkansas and in Northwest Arkansas. They offer same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes. Try them out. I mean, what could it hurt? Free estimates. They'll come check out your door and help you out like that. Also, shout out to the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria. Great pies. awesome staff, great environment. They're on Emma Street in Springdale, so why don't you run by and get yourself a delicious pie and tell them Ty sent you. All right, we're done. We're done here. We're done. That's a wrap.